Hello and welcome. Today we are joined by Philipp Siemes. He is the representative of Skhai Development, and Skhai is such a new kid on the block in Phuket, only a few years, but they've already got 8 locations in Phuket. They've got, actually no, it's 6 locations in Phuket.
Correct.
8 in Koh Samui, and they're about to launch an 80-unit condominium project in Bali, all of which you can find the properties inside Asia Lifestyle magazine. So Philipp, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for coming here by again.
So what we're going to be looking at are, for me, villas on the very affordable end of the market. For Phuket right now, the villas are around about 20 to 30 to 40 million, and that's in the starting range. But with Skhai, the starting range is around about 15 million, even less for some projects as well.
Correct. So the cheapest villa we could offer to you guys is 13.99 million.
That's insane.
It's insane, and not to forget to mention it's in Pasag 8. So this is the approach that we follow. We want to give the client the full experience of being in a prime location in Phuket, but still make it affordable. So this is a niche that we fill, and it works very well for us. And this is part why we can grow that fast. And yeah, I'm happy to present those units to you guys today.
Awesome. So one thing that I want to note is the fact that you're not sacrificing quality. It's basically experience that you're bringing into the table, and that's bringing down the price.
Absolutely. So we try to have key positions within the company held by experienced managers, mostly Europeans. This means that we can be more efficient than maybe some other developers are. We never sacrifice any quality. I mean, we've seen it together, and we just try to make it more efficient, to keep the low price and then to sell more in the end to be able to grow.
So one thing I will say about Skhai is your designs are clear and clean and crisp and just really easy to digest, easy to the eye.
Absolutely. We said when we entered the market, we don't want to be the 30th developer with a tie roof, and to just make it look similar. So what we did in Koh Samui before is more of a Mediterranean style, and we said, let's buy a small plot, put some small villas on there and see how the market reacts. And the market reacted very, very well. And now you can see more and more of our Mediterranean white villas in all of Phuket.
I mean, the style and the design is really iconic. I think it could be described as Mediterranean, Spanish, Moroccan, French. I don't know. It's just a really clean, crisp, and beautiful, digestible design.
Yeah. And we do have different layouts where we sometimes also use some wooden elements here and there. But yes, the main goal is to keep it very clean, to have a white, nice and shiny community. So the whole project then looks great. And I mean, in our latest development, we have 29 villas. We have the great sun. All of our projects are called sunrise, as you know. So we always try to guarantee you the sunrise in the morning, and then the white reflection gives you a very, very light morning, a good feeling to have your coffee on the terrace in the end. So,
stunning. So starting price around about 13,
correct.
Up to about what price?
So the most expensive villa we have at the moment is 27.99 in this project.
Wow.
But this comes with almost 400 square meters of build-up area, with a minimum land size that is way higher than the 13.99 million villa. 2 floors. We usually do with 3 bedrooms. We can convert it to a 4-bedroom as well. Stunning design, but most of the villas we do are actually on the lower end. But if you want us to do something crazy or even completely individual, we're happy to assist you with that as well.
One thing I love about when I bring my clients to you is the fact that you're completely customizable. You can move walls back, forward, side to side. I mean, you've really got a depth that a lot of other developments don't offer.
Absolutely. And I think this is really one of our USPs, fully customization. If you have a client who has the craziest requests, I don't know, wave making machines for the pool, we're happy to do that if the client is ready to pay the premium. And it is a lot of work. Let's be honest. We need new building drawings, new building permits for every villa. But if the client is happy in the end, then we are happy too, because we are not only looking for buyers, we are looking for partners for the long term, for new projects. And for now, it's working very well.
So right now we're in Blue Tree,
Correct.
the lifestyle center from Christine.
And it's becoming better and better here. I mean, even though the lagoon closed, but we see great new restaurants. So you can hop in basically from sushi during lunch to bartels in the evening for a nice European sandwich date.
Even the immigration office is here as well.
It's a one-stop solution. Get your haircut here. Maybe me more than you, but no, it's a great location, and it really is perfect for us because most of our projects are in Passac, sure, but we do have some in Manique as well, and it's something in between where we can just meet clients. We do have the showroom here. We do have the materials here, so it's perfect for us.
Yeah. So what are the goals of most of your buyers? Is it investment or residential, or maybe a mix of both?
It is a mix. Of course, we do have some investors that also bought a few more units in the same project, but we do have a lot of residents as well. Why? Because it's for many of those residents, it's actually their pension, like where they want to spend their pension. You know, it's maybe, I don't want to say life savings, but this is why it's so important for us to deliver great quality. We know that since we are rather located at the bottom of the prices that you see in Phuket, it's what people can afford, you know. And I think it's the worst thing if you mix up someone's dream for pension in the end, and we know that. So I would say it's maybe 50-50. So 50% investors, 50% residents. And also one of the reasons why we are so keen on the individualization aspect, because we want people to feel home actually at their new home.
Giving people that unique feel inside their villa, it's something special that some developers just don't understand.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we both agree, if you go to certain developers, you get into the villa and you think, oh, wow, it looks amazing, but I would change this, you know. And many of those developers, they will just not allow you to make those changes. And we said, why not? You know, yes, it is a bit of extra work, but it gives so much value to the client in the end. Why shouldn't we be the one that says, okay, let's do it, guys, you know? We can do it, and we are here to fulfill your dream.
Yeah. So, I mean, to put your pricing in perspective, what you're selling as a 2 to 3 bedroom villa is the price of a condo.
Absolutely. Especially with all these new condominium projects popping up. I think if you would find a condominium project in Passac 8, it will probably be more expensive than our villas are, and you get land with it as well. So we do freehold, leasehold. It's the same price. We don't charge any premium. We give you full flexibility, meaning, for example, if you feel more comfortable with a lease, but you want to change it later on to a freehold, we're happy to do that with you. We know that there are some obstacles sometimes for some buyers in terms of legal aspects.
Of course.
And we are very, very happy to help solving those, to offer solutions and to give flexibility all overall, like in every aspect.
So by law, a foreigner can own a property, own the building in their name. And when it comes to a villa, they have to either lease the land from the developer, either set up a Thai company for the company to own the land, but that would have to be a functioning company, not just a company set up just to own land, obviously.
Exactly.
And on top of that, you can have a Thai owner as well.
Absolutely. So we do have Thais as well. So they just buy the land in their names. You know, we talked about having subdivision within the process, within the buying process. So we offer all of those solutions. You know, of course, I personally, but that's just a personal opinion, I tell my clients, why not start with a lease? You know, just have it. I don't want to say completely legal, because of all of the other solutions are legal as well. But just make it simple. You know, you have the lease, you have cheaper registration costs, you know, and if you want to sell at one point, or maybe the government in 5 years says, hey, dear foreigners, now you are able to own land, let's do the freehold then. You know, we will never charge you a premium for that. It's just the transfer tax that the client has to pay.
Of course.
But I mean, I think it's one of the fairest solution that you can offer.
One thing that people need to understand watching this video is that developers, they just want to sell the property.
Correct.
They're not holding it for the later, for the future. They want to build and sell.
Yeah.
And their markup is made already. It's nice that, you know, we can convey that in a video as well.
Yeah. Oh, and I think we built a one-stop solution as well with Stela, our property management company. So if a client wants hassle-free one-stop solution, yes, we are there. We will be managing the common area later on as well. And again, we will not be gone in 2 or 3 years. We have very big plans for Phuket. We see value in Phuket. We saw the casino bill just being passed. You know, we see the sandbox crypto in Phuket. So even though some people might claim and say, Phuket might be a bit too developed already, I say not at all. I think we are only seeing the start.
I think Phuket's just beginning, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's obviously the issue with traffic at the moment, just because the government needs time to catch up. However, once they do, I think this place is going to go absolutely interstellar.
Absolutely. And I mean, we see, of course, you mentioned traffic, but they are working on solutions. And just remember how everyone talked about like the horrible Bangkok traffic back in the days.
Yeah.
They do have the highways now that we are planning here as well. And you can get literally anywhere within 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and those plans are being passed already. It's just a matter of time when we will see those things being implemented.
Yeah. So talking about location, I mean, you've got Anshan here, you've got Zenithy here. I think you've got, what is it called, Bougainvillea, right? We're just about to come up to.
You have Garden Atlas next door as
Garden
well.
Atlas as well. Garden Atlas, award-winning architecture from Kun Nong, probably one of the best architects in Thailand.
Yeah.
But I mean, your neighbors are really heavy hitters, meaning that you're competing with these luxury developments, and you're still at a price point that's affordable.
Again, it is a niche, and we felt like not a lot of developers actually wanted to fill that. And we thought, come on, let's give it a try. We were very successful. I mean, you can see already phase 2 on the left side. We will head up to phase 1 where we do have our show villa. Both of those phases were literally sold out within 2.5, 3 months each. You know,
phase 1 for you was just a trial run, really. Yeah. Though. I mean, it wasn't completely planned out like your other developments. I have to say that for clientele, because phase 1, it does not represent the building is great, but just the planning, I think it doesn't represent about your selling points now. No,
absolutely. It's small villas as well, so the plots were smaller. We didn't have any private parking in this project. You will see it right now. Everything is basically minimized to what we're doing now. But again, we were at an even lower price point back then. So I think none of those investors or residents here can complain. Everyone's very happy. So, welcome to the show villa. And this is exactly what we talked about. The Mediterranean, Moroccan, Japanese, you name it style.
It's just very gorgeous. Clean. It's so simple. It's clean. It's pristine.
Thank you.
I love it.
So let's get into it. We have 3 bedrooms. We have 3 bathrooms. Specifically for this unit, the client requested initially to separate the 3rd bedroom. So we did that. Usually you would have a corridor right here. All of the villas are fully fitted, which means a kitchen is included. Movable furniture is not. Of course, air cons, electricity, everything is included, obviously. We try to use high-grade materials.
I mean, talking about high-grade materials, you've used Huffle for the door fittings, you've used Samsung for the in-ceiling air conditioning.
Yeah.
And these are real wood doors, right?
Yes, they are. We put a different finishing on it to make it last, actually, and to not having it like blown up by humidity.
Yeah.
We use high-quality tiles. The tiles are accurate. You know, this is the thing. I mean, we're in Thailand still. Um, we have seen both worse, I think.
I've
You
seen
know.
some monstrosities, yeah.
Um, so we have key positions filled by experts that are working in Southeast Asia for decades, right? Um, so we all have a European eye as well. So we do like inspections all the time, just to make sure that everything is correct, is accurate, looks good. And I think we talk a lot about also some renderings not being the same as the villas in the end. But please,
This is exactly the same as the rendering. It's
I know
exactly the same as the rendering.
it is, and that's the approach. You know, we're not selling dream castles; we're selling dream homes. Actually,
So, I mean, the simplicity and the quality for the value that you're getting, it makes sense to purchase one
yeah.
of these properties. I absolutely love it. This is really a little bit of me.
Thank you so much for your kind words, and we always appreciate it. And again, the feeling that you have, we also transport to clients, to partners, to agents, and this is why we're so successful. And we know that this is the keys to success, and we just try to get better every day. We had a lower price point here, and some clients claim, but can you also do nicer stuff? And we keep saying, try to build something like this at the price point that we do and be profitable, right?
Yeah.
Try this. And if you can do this, then you're 100% sure that you can do even greater for a higher price in the end.
Of course. I think the value for money that you're offering your buyers right now is just it's nice to see.
Thank you so much. We use Rocker right here.
So Rocker sinks,
Yes.
Koto toilets.
Yes.
I love the fact that you've used the black taps and showers.
Thank you.
It's a really nice finish.
Yeah.
They look great when they're new. I just want to see them in 10 years' time.
I mean, we're also happy to help you in maintaining the villa. You know, again, it's not like we're gone after the villa purchase. You have us 24/7 available in the reception, especially in the new project. And yes, we are happy to help. And we have villas that are 10 years old. We are happy to show those to clients. They are in Koh Samui. But if you would see them, you would say maybe 4 to 5 years old. No, they're 10 years and older. And we build to last. You know, everything that you see here is double-sided. You know, so we not doing those minimal walls. It's a good quality construction. You know, especially for the price you're paying. I think you can't really complain.
Like, I would say this for me should be priced a little bit higher in a few years' time. It's a no-brainer. But right now, I'm really happy with the pricing. I would note to buyers that the furniture package is not included.
Correct.
It's about 800,000 baht extra. Is that correct?
Correct. We do have two options. We do have a basic option and we do have a luxury option. We are reworking them at the moment a little bit, but again, we want to give the highest value for money that you can get. So I think 800 is a good number that we can furnish the villa quite nice.
One thing I will say to buyers is the furniture package is always going to have a little percentage on top for the developers because, hey, they've spent time to find the right pieces and the items that work with the properties. That being said, that little bit on top is well worth the purchase sometimes because it saves buyers time going through endless furniture shops and hardware stores. It's for me, I think it's money saved. So when you're looking at a 3-bedroom property with Skhai, it's around about 800,000 for their current furniture package. However, you're more than welcome to find your own furniture if it's not to your liking.
Same goes for property management, by the way, as well. We do have our own company, and you're looking at around a rate of 25%. But we will always say, if you find someone who you want to take over the property management, you're good to go. We will never make any exclusive contracts with you. We're there to support, not to bind you.
It's nice to have that freedom. One thing that it's probably an unpopular opinion, but I do believe that developers should take the lead when it comes to property management of property of villas. And the reason being is, imagine if you have 50 villas and they all have their own property management company. You're going to have 50 pool maintenance trucks coming in every single week, and it's not practical. So it's nice that you're giving your clientele that option, but it's nice that you're only charging 25% for property management. I think it's a fair fee for Phuket.
I think it's too. And again, like, we know our villas best, and those guys are in-house. Even though the company is named Stella, it's our in-house property management company. We know it best. And again, even if you don't want it in the end, we still want to welcome you as an investor with us.
Awesome. So let's have a look at the next property.
Yes.
So the next one is a different design.
So it's basically a similar design, but the floor plan is different.
Okay.
So with this client specifically, they asked to have a kitchen island. And we have this connected corridor that we talked about earlier, right? The pool is a bit smaller. The plot is bigger. So as mentioned before, we do have, let's say, 30 villas, and we have 30 new building permits, since all the villas are different,
So the properties that we've just seen and we're about to see are obviously sold. However, if a buyer wants something similar, obviously you're more than happy to oblige.
Of course, and we do have a great construction site just 300 meters from here, and I'm happy to show you guys this one as well. We do have very, very limited plots left, so be quick. Of course, we try to always launch new projects, but Phuket plot prices are rising, and we still have to be somehow profitable. So the quicker you buy, the better the price you will get. Right. So we do have the kitchen island right over here, and then we have the corridor leading to bedroom number 3 right here. This client chose a different finishing style. So you see we have different tiles. We have different tiles on the terrace, but we'll have a look at finishings later on again in the office. The pool is smaller, therefore the plot is bigger. You will see some beautiful landscaping here. I hope this client stay will have a great barbecue area here as well.
Oh, I hope so too.
Would be amazing. Outdoor shower right here. And yeah, it's simple. It's simple. We're not doing something world revolutionary, but we make it in the best way possible.
I mean, I think my client the other day that I brought here, he was really impressed with the style and he wanted to make some minor changes. You were very accommodating and it impressed me. Even to this day, it's good. You don't see that often. So let's talk about the plot sizes and subdivision. So right now in your current developments, you haven't subdivided the plots yet because you're waiting for clients to maybe pick a double plot, or explain that.
Absolutely. So what we usually, how it works in general is, as a developer, you buy a big plot of land, and most of the developers start subdividing it, then building, and then transferring it in the end. What we do is, since we individualize everything, we are not stopping at the villa, but also if you want to extend the land. If you see, for example, we were talking with your client about a 265 square meter land. Could have been that the client said, I want 300 meters square meters minimum. Then we are very happy to accommodate. We try to make another plot smaller. And if you are in the subdivision process already, then it's hard to impossible to make that happen. So this is why we say, let's sell, let's see what the client wants, and then we get into the subdivision.
Yeah.
So, and then we do the land transfer. Also what we do the land transfer quite early in the process. So usually if you look at other developers, they will transfer the land to you in the end. And we said, we know it's Thailand and we just want to give the client an additional security, So
It's nice to do. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been in all situations with my clients, and yeah, it's a nice gesture of goodwill.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's again, it's about accommodating the client. You know, of course, we are still quite new in Phuket, and this is why we add all those values that we are adding, just to get some, just to be known more. You know, just to get some reputation right here. And yeah,
Well, you guys have been doing the right things so far, so I'm really impressed, and it's nice to show my clients your projects.
thank you very much. We'll go see now the phase 3 where we have limited plots left, because I think that plot is prime. We've both seen it. It's a great view. Everything around there is already finished. So for every client seeing this one, if you go for this project, once your villa is finished, there's no construction noise around you.
So this is the project site that's next door to Pustone Villas and Garden Atlas.
Correct.
Award-winning properties. As an investor, and this is one thing that a lot of investors should look at as a strategy, all of the properties, if you're going to look at a map view of villas or properties for sale or properties for rent, basically on a nightly, the villas next door to you are going to be absolutely extreme pricing, and just pricing as well, because they're luxury properties.
Yeah.
But your properties are going to be at a much less price point, but it's much less to purchase into that property. So I think that you're getting a lot of, literally you're getting free marketing for this.
Absolutely, it's true. And I mean, usually in real estate, you say you're not buying the most expensive plot in the cheapest area, but the other way around, right? And from an investment perspective, yes, try to beat us and try to beat our numbers. I think it will be very, very hard being in Passag 8. So it's, as you said, like you mentioned, we are next door to 45, 50 million baht villas, right? And if they get rented out, of course, they need a higher rate per night to achieve similar returns in the end.
Percentages,
right?
Yeah.
So if you look at our 3-bedroom villa, I think that, let's let this guys go first. I think there will be very, very few clients that are looking at less than maybe 9% net. So meaning after all costs. And I think you and I, we both know that the number is still quite conservative.
I think that's a very conservative number.
But
I mean, if you're going to estimate the rental returns of the area, I think 9% off the purchase price is very, very conservative. As an investor, the numbers really do work in this area.
Yeah, and we will see it on the way back. This area is developing in general. Like we have EDC just next weekend, and we can have a look at it when we're on the way back to Blue Tree, because there's this shortcut next to Boat Avenue, or to the next Boat Avenue.
The new Boat Avenue.
Correct. And the area just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Here we have Garden Atlas.
Yeah, I mean, Garden Atlas, such a gorgeous resort, and I'm really big fans of the developer and the architects. Speak of the devil, there's none there.
He parked very well.
Yeah. สวัสดีครับคุณน้อง
สวัสดีครับ
สบายดีไหมครับ
สวัสดีครับ
Driving into Anshan.
So obviously this is actually a private road, but you have
Correct.
a access deal already signed.
Absolutely. So without having the access to our plot, we wouldn't get a single building permit.
Of course.
And everything we do is legal, 100%. We stand every due diligence. So let's say even if a client goes into a reservation agreement with us and they have to pay obviously the 200,000 baht, they find a red flag that we cannot solve, they get their money back, you
Awesome.
know? So This is where we have very limited plots left. I won't go out because I think this would destroy the microphone. But maybe let's drive a little bit into the land. As you can see, we started construction already. We do have 29 villas here in total. We have a lobby. Of course, we do have 24/7 security, CCTV, everything that you could expect or that you would expect from a villa development, from a bigger villa development here in Phuket. And please just look at the view and tell me how amazing it is.
I mean, it's stunning. Behind the development is government-owned land, and that's a water runoff.
Absolutely. We call it swampland, canal land, whatsoever. Behind that is rubber tree, but I think it's not accessible from this side. So it's very, very, very unlikely that anything is being built there in the future. We cannot make any promises because we're still in Thailand.
Of course.
But again, it's very unlikely, and it cools down the whole area as well because it's green. What cools down an area? Greenery. So there we are. And I think having this look all over the mountain on a maybe not that misty day, it's just beautiful. Waking up, having your coffee, seeing the sunrise.
Awesome.
How could life be better?
Ooh. Wow.
Hardworking man.
That's hard work. That's really hard work.
And maybe to mention as well, as you can see, we started construction already for a few villas. So if one of your clients is interested, we can start construction very, very soon. Of course, there are some things that we need to do. We need to do the contract signing, but usually...
One thing I want to mention before we leave this, a client of mine, they noticed the workers' camp, and that's a temporary workers' camp.
Of course,
you
yes.
Get basically, all of the builders, they need somewhere to stay
Absolutely.
whilst they're building. So yeah, there's not a shanty town next to you.
No worries. I think neither of our neighbors would allow this as well. So not to worry about that. But it's as you mentioned, since those guys are going from construction site to construction site, it's temporary homes. That's why they are living in buildings like this. So also all of our construction workers, we treat them very well with free drinks, with anything they need. They do have enough time off. So
Awesome.
yeah, here we have the next neighbor you mentioned before.
Zenithy, yeah. I mean, their villas are starting around about 30 to 40 million at the moment. And your villas are still well within half their price range.
Yeah. Again, it's the more affordable side. Of course, you don't have 6-meter high roofs in the end. You know, somewhere we have to also still be profitable and make it efficient. You know, that's what I talked about all the time before. You know, we were looking at what can we do more efficient. You know, is it construction? Is it the floor plan? How can we utilize the land better? What is maybe not 100% necessary to that maybe other high-end luxury developers do, and this is how we got to this price point. And I mean, this project was launched, I think, around 8 or 9 months ago.
And you've sold about 90%.
Yeah, it's basically it's as good as sold out. In the meantime, we sold another project. So last year was a very successful year for Skhai, and we're just looking at an even greater 2025, hopefully.
Yeah. So what can you tell me about the Bali project?
So Bali will be our first condominium project overall. We are 300 meters from the beach, basically next to La Brisa, the beach club. We are in the final stages of for design as well as for the floor plans. We will have different layouts. We guess at the moment that we do have some sea view options then as well. Of course, Canggu as being one of the most famous destinations in Bali. We wanted to play it safe, you know, and I think starting prices will be around 140,000 USD. I think a launch will be somewhere in maybe Q2 this year, maybe late Q2, somewhere around this.
Awesome. We'll be ready.
And feel free to visit us. We do have an office there already as well. Beautiful. We have staff on site. We are actually starting to connect the Thailand staff with the Indonesian staff. It's very lovely people over there. The office looks amazing, and I can't wait to go there myself. You know, and you're happy to join us. Welcome to join us.
I think Asia Lifestyle Magazine is heading there in a few weeks' time.
That's good.
So let's go back to the villas and let's talk about the buying process, because we're going to go to the office and look at the materials. It's really important to understand what goes into the build.
Yeah.
But let's say, for example, we have a client today. They say, right, I want to book a villa. Obviously, there's a contact form at the bottom of this video, so you can basically connect and we can go for a video tour and a one-on-one.
Yeah.
But also, let's just talk about the process. So the booking fee to reserve a unit, let's say, for example, we find the plot that the client wants to buy. What's the next step?
Before we go to the next step, I quickly want to wait because we do have the EDC site here.
Okay.
And we're just minutes away from the project, and it's almost done there. And I think it's worth to mention because especially for investors, I know guys who owns villas around here, and you can't imagine the numbers that they get per night.
It's insane.
And they can basically walk to the site here, you know. See how close it is? And they can access via this point. Soon this road will be open as well.
Yes.
Okay, but back to business. So we do have this booking fee that you mentioned. It's 200,000 baht, and it is per se non-refundable. Again, we let the client do a due diligence, and if they have red flags and we cannot solve those, they can get back their money, of course. You know, so we're not a shady developer or whatsoever. We then usually start working on customization if we didn't do before. For the floor plan, we do have a section in every quotation that says customization. So it's valued at around 350,000. And this means you have 3 revisions, right? But we can also meet with the architect in our office and do it like on hands. And changes will be free, you know. Once we're done with everything, we try to send you contracts, like the 3 contracts for property acquisitions, CAM fees, etc., within 48 hours. So the clients have around 28 days to review them. We are always happy to also involve lawyers. We do have some recommendations. Of course, we say it's better to take a lawyer from Phuket because they know how it works in Phuket. You can choose someone from Bangkok, but it will be more expensive for the client in the end. They will fly in. They must get to know with different things.
I think picking a Phuket lawyer is a must when buying a property in Phuket.
We agree. Absolutely. So you have those contracts. Usually they are signed after 30 days, after the booking fee, or the reservation form whatsoever. And then we do start the land transfer initiation. What does that mean? We talked about it earlier. We have the big land and we then start the subdivision. So it takes around, let's say, 2.5 to 3 months. It takes some time at the moment in Phuket, unfortunately. But we are then transferring the land to the client. Then we do start the construction, and it's a quite simple payment plan, as you know it from many other developers as well. And then happily, usually after 12 months, after start of construction, if there are no delays from, also sometimes from the client side, we are happy to deliver the villa to the client.
So you're saying 12 months is the average delivery time?
For a 1-story, 3-bedroom villa, yes. If we are looking at 2 stories, you're rather looking at around 14 months. If we go for the very, very big ones, maybe 16.
We are just a short drive away from so many facilities and lifestyle options. It's such a good location.
Absolutely. Name anything and we can be there within minutes, right? We can go to Boat Avenue from here. We can go to Bang Tao Beach. We can go to name anything, Porto. Everything is here. You know,
Sure.
it's just it's a few minutes drive. We do have even different shortcuts from Passak 8/8, which brings us basically to Passak 4. Maybe it's the perfect location within Bang Tao, if you're honest.
Yeah.
Going to finishes. We both met Helen before, and she is the absolute expert in finishing
Oh,
materials.
really?
Halfway through the building process, we will approach the clients for the finishing selection. Why? It can happen that if a client chooses, for example, this tile for the bathroom, that in half a year the supplier says, "Oh, my me," which means it's sold out. So what we do then, we do it halfway through. We always get new supplies, we always get new tiles, new selections, and then within the process, we let the client choose. We do have a standard package which is included, and it's usually 60 by 60 tiles. But we also do offer upgrades. You know, if the client wants, for example, 60 times 120, if the client says, "Oh, I forgot, I want to add a smart home." So even as much as we can, as long as it's legal, during the building process, we even give customization options, or maybe they want to add a sala later on, you know. So this happens around 50% at construction stage. We invite them here. We can do it online. Anything can be done remote. But look yourself. It's high quality material. It's not just because we're cheaper that we go for any cheaper suppliers. So
I mean, you've basically given a really, really broad selection already in the show unit. But if a buyer was to find something that they like, I mean, you're more than happy to accommodate.
absolutely. Again, we're building dream homes. Of course, we do have a set budget for every finishing, and if the client comes with mahogany parquet, we are happy to do that. We do have this budget, and we try to source it as cheap as possible. And if we upgrade to the mahogany parquet that he wants, we will only charge the difference. So we will give invoices, we will show numbers, and we are happy to do that as well.
Awesome. Philip, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure as
Thank
always.
you so much as well.
And I have to say that for the viewers watching at home, if you are looking at a villa in Phuket, follow the link below. We can basically do a one-on-one conversation. We can really talk about what you're looking for and customize as and when. So yeah, literally, thank you very much. Make sure you're following and subscribing and click all those buttons. And yeah, peace out.